sun. But we were flames and fell in love. We burned your cities down, down. I thought you learned your lesson. You won't be lonely if you fall in love. Over and over again and again.
Hello and welcome everyone to the third day of the Meraki Major Quarterfinals. I'm joined as always by my co-host Patrick Fennick.
How's it going?
It's going pretty well because we get to see some pretty good siege action today here. Obviously today on the cards we have Phoenix Esports versus Meraki Gaming, and then later on today, let me actually pull this up quick. I believe we have Omnius Gaming versus Aladdin Velocity. So pretty big games coming up right here, right now. Obviously, the first one is going to be this PlayStation game of Phoenix Esports versus Meraki Gaming. Phoenix Esports finishing first in Pool C, Meraki Gaming finishing second in Pool B to get here. So definitely should be a very interesting matchup. And something to note is we were notified a few minutes ago, actually, so we had no preparation for this. We don't know how this is going to go, but there's going to be a maintenance break over on PlayStation. So if it is possible, chat, please let us know to continue a custom game during a down period when there's maintenance. Can you still host a server when there's down period? Otherwise, this match is going to be postponed when the players eventually and if they lag out. So unfortunately, it might have to come to that. And in that case, we're going to be continuing at 7:30 with the PC games. But otherwise, we are here. We're going to be casting it. This is the PlayStation team. Phoenix Esports versus Meraki game should be a very interesting one.
Yeah, absolutely. I understand there's a little bit of a rivalry going on here, so might just be interesting to have a look and see who comes out on top of this time around, or who's going to get that claim to fame, a little bit of bragging rights, as it were. We'll see. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. I think. Hopefully, it's a spicy one because we do have, I believe, Consulate for the first map.
I think you're correct in saying that. I'm not too sure though. Yes, Consulate will be the first one. Don't know as of right now which the second and third map will be, but we'll find that out in due time. Consulate, I believe, is Phoenix's map pick, so definitely should be giving them the inherent advantage heading on into this. But like we've been seeing throughout this tournament, I don't believe I've seen a single map where the team that picked it actually won it. Quite an interesting stat, but yeah, that's what's been happening. So definitely, it just tells you, even when it's your map, you picked it, you feel comfortable on it, that's definitely not a guarantee that you are going to take this map. That being said, though, we're currently waiting on one of the Meraki players to join on into the lobby. Should be heading straight on into this within the next few minutes. And while we have this time, I want to do a quick TLDR. If you haven't been watching the games thus far, over on the PlayStation side, we've been going for the past 2 days. Repress Esports beat out EGSA in a 2-0 game, if I'm not mistaken. No, that one went 2-1. As well, Motion Esports beat out Nibble in GS in a very tight game yesterday. So definitely has been things have been ramping up over on the PlayStation side as well. The viewership on the PlayStation side, quite surprising to me at least. I haven't done PlayStation casts before, so I really didn't know what to expect coming out of this. Obviously, I used to play on PlayStation myself. That's been my training ground, if you like to say it that way. But I really did not expect the absolute number of viewership that has been happening here. So it's really been insane. But over on the PC side, ATK got the bypass over on the first matchup. Then Titan Odyssey lost out against Memento Mori in a very intense game that went absolutely, quite genuinely, all the way yesterday. That was an insane cast. I was sitting here till 11:30 yesterday, bringing you guys that. And really, if you want to go watch an insane game, go watch that VOD. Really, it came down to the wire, and eventually Memento Mori were the ones to take it. So as it stands, these are your teams in the first semifinals. Memento Mori, ATK, and over on the PlayStation side, Repress Esports versus, I believe, Motion Esports. So definitely interesting games all around. But today, obviously, we have Phoenix Esports, Meraki Gaming, currently still waiting on the one Meraki player. So I actually don't know how long this man is going to take. We have 12 minutes left on this custom lobby. Hopefully, we can get this set up before the servers go down. So So I don't know if Chad was able to hear the admin. I'm going to explain it as if as if Chad could not. The admin just confirmed that. Oh, there we go. The fifth player just joined the lobby. Let's go, boys. So just an update from flops_ZA in chat. If the custom lobby starts before maintenance, then it will play out as long as there's no rehost. So I believe that only though it applies for one map. I do not think we're going to be able to have multiple maps in this series. Although, if this is a 30-minute downtime, we should actually be fine with that. Should be able, the players after that 30-minute rehost to actually join back and start out a new custom lobby. So hopefully we're doing good. Chat, Kevin R6 asks, all right, sick. Can EU teams also participate? No, this is only a sub-Saharan Africa 20. Doing what we can here within the space. We're bringing you the best esports in South Africa thus far. It's been going really great. The support on this tournament has been insane, to say the least. So actually, we just lost the play on the side of Meraki. So looks like we're gonna have to wait a bit more. Okay, so they actually used their sub earlier just to be safe, but their actual player is coming on in a few seconds. So hopefully, no more delay in that. Obviously, we want to uphold the utmost competitive integrity. We don't want to be forced to use the subs if it is not needed. So let's see what happens here. All right, so without further ado, all the teams are ready. Let's head straight on into Consulate.
Yeah, let's get it done. I'm ready to see some action here, and hopefully it's mega competitive because obviously these teams, they have a little bit of proving to do to one another. They want to just grind out that little rivalry they got going and see who's better out this time around. So I'm interested to see how this one plays out, especially considering Consulate is one of my favorite maps. I do like to see how it gets played out, so I'm really curious to see how this one goes.
Yeah, it should definitely be an interesting one. The Blackbeard ban being the first one out, that's going to change the playstyle on this map because we all know the first and second floor here, how many windows there are. So taking that guy off the board, the man with the face shield in front of his MK17 rifle, oh so lethal, going to be taken off of the board. So a pretty big ban. Would expect maybe a Thermite, a Maverick, a Thatcher ban because we know how prevalent the main wall and the opening of it is. And indeed, the Thatcher ban will be coming out from the blue team, which I believe are Phoenix Esports.
Yeah, not a surprising set of bans so far. Maybe the Blackbeard could have potentially been switched out if they wanted to prioritize something else, but I mean, the Blackbeard's still a solid ban. Coming out on the defender side, though, this is going to be an interesting one to see who they're going to be taking off the board. It could be anything from potentially a Jackal to, well, it looks like it's going to be Kaid. So yeah, that's a big one taken off the board there. Quite a bit of utility from that side.
Yeah, so bringing that back to what I said about how prevalent the main wall plays, especially on that down floor defensive side, the Kaid really, because of that electrifying ability that it brings to the table, can be really useful to most teams. And the Wamai actually as well taken off the board, probably going to try and make the utility that the defenders have to work with a bit less. So the attacker's job in this game is going to be at least that tiny bit easier. So heading on into it, I believe the blue team. No. Okay, so Meraki Gaming, they're going to be starting on the defensive side, heading to Garage and Cafeteria as their primary bomb site. And it looks like both teams utilizing legendaries or, what do you call them again? The elite skins. So it looks like both of these teams already have disregarded the rule in terms of utilizing skins. So I don't think you can penalize either one of them if both of them are running it. So yeah. Okay, so wording from the admin, on console at least, if there's a mutual agreement between both teams, it is allowed to utilize the skin. So it looks like these guys have just said, screw it, it's going to be too much effort to take off all the skins. And I mean, I'm not even that big of a proponent of only using the allowed skins. It doesn't make that big of a difference in the end if you aren't using, say, what is it, the Ember Eye skins, the ones we all know and love, the pasta skins, some of you like to call it. But the castle being utilized here are going to be castle barricading off the entire east side on the first floor of Visa. So as well utilizing that to lock out Printer Room. Very interesting plays coming out from the castle here.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see that they're picking up this first floor defense straight off the bat and interested to watch how the setup goes because I like the castle utilization. I'm always a big fan when I see him come out. But whether he's used correctly or not is an entirely different story. You know, he's never always the most solid operator if you're not putting his barricades in the right place, because obviously they're very, very powerful. But if they're in the wrong spot, then you know they don't do anything, and then you're left with an operator that has what is seen as a bit less of a powerful weapon, you know, utility or strength-wise, should I say.
Yeah, and he actually takes a lot of damage down in the early engagement. The player currently repelled on the main theater windows, doing a ton of damage there onto the castle. And you're saying the castle, when the utility is in place correctly, it can leave you with a gun that's really lackluster. But even more than that, it can lock you out of certain rooms, even as a defender. You can't just easily take that thing off. They're going to hear you take that thing off, and they're going to pre-fire into you. So it could honestly screw you over as a team. But now the Buccaneer swing wide actually catches out the Jaeger, the opening kill. Patriots, is that his name? Indeed it is. Going to be taken off the board. Castle going to try and refrag, but at the moment he's currently stuck in split. And well, the Buck to find the kill off of the information gathered by his teammate, the K1A, the Vigil, to refrag there onto Swak. So the IQ taken off the board at the very least.
Yeah, and now Meraki find themselves 2 players down at the moment, with only 1 taken off the board from Phoenix. So at the moment, just a little bit of a disadvantage here that they've got to work with to try and defend these sites with. And, well, you could see those castle barricades there, stopping a couple of the rotates. Still up. Going to be difficult to deal with. They're going to have to spend a little bit of utility to come in. But 1 minute 20 on the clock, it's plenty of time to work with here for Phoenix to try and get themselves in towards the site. And they're slowly clearing the angle, slowly getting themselves in towards that area. Question is, can they penetrate the site, or is Meraki going to hold on to this one for long enough?
Yeah, so you have the hard anchors on the site in the Legion and the Smoke to actually help out, but I'm worried about this Vigil because he's currently stuck in Visa's side because of, surprise, surprise, the castle barricade. He can't rotate on through the main lobby area. He needs to fall back and go up through the spiral stairs from down below. So already, Pana getting the diffuser down. The Vigil has to go for the long rotate, and the Smoke on side is essentially left last alone. He doesn't even know the plant's going down, and it has been stick, although the Vigil comes just at the right time, finds a double for himself. Jared to get taken down, but will they find this engagement? Who will win this out? The K1A of the Vigil is going to drop down on very low HP, taken to low HP, but the Legion to get taken out now. Left in a 2v1's not looking good for Meraki Esports. They need to get this diffuser within the next 20 seconds, and he tries to find the first, but the player at the long desk, the Buck with the C8 to lock out the kill, and that's Clout. Coming in big for his team, I believe a triple kill in the round off of those first 2 engagements.
Yeah, that was kind of weird to watch. It was quite funny. You were talking about how you were worried about the Vigil being locked out there, and it just turned out that the lockout, it was in actually a pretty decent thing because it enabled him to rotate. It took some time to rotate, at least, and that time that it took to get him onto site actually put him on the site in the perfect timing to get some kills there. But it wasn't enough. I mean, at that stage, they were going man down quite a bit, and getting 2 kills is great. But if you can't find the rest, then it's a pretty difficult one. You know, 2 is fine, but the bomb is down. Well, the diffuser is planted at least, and you have to find a whole lot more. And once those post plants come up, especially on that first floor, it's so difficult because if they plant right there by that main entrance, I mean, it is just incredibly difficult to get the defuse down because they have that entire pressure point right sitting outside. I mean, that's just really not what you want. And it's also why I think that a lot of teams don't really prioritize that particular bomb site, which is why I was a little surprised to see it come out first.
Yeah, definitely. Usually you'd see at least the bottom floor or the top floor in admin office, and well, now they're going to that more default setup. And bringing the bandits, obviously the Kate is banned, so you're going to have to rely on those bandit batteries, but let's see if it is going to be useful. Obviously on the attacking side, no Thatcher as well on the board, so at least those bandit batteries going to stay up for a bit longer. I'll try and enter on through piano, use that vertical play and take care of those bandit batteries, but a lot to play with here. The Jaeger actually up top is rocking that new G2 Esports skin, the new pilot program skins that were released, I believe, yesterday. So see, this man is up to date on his skins. Going to go for that early engagement. It did not work out for the Vigil last time around, so maybe he can find himself a pick or 2 from this angle here and split, but as it stands, no one dancing on through his crosshairs.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent spawn peak right there. Always can you can always leverage it if you get your timings right, and if obviously your enemies are pushing from that direction. But yeah, if the attacking team is playing proper smart, then they should be able to avoid most of those spawn peaks, not really getting too aggressive. And it actually looks like
The
the
vigil
vigil's
was
going to
taken
get
out
taken
because of
down
the
here.
IQ. Yeah. So his vigil scanner was on the last, literally the last life. I saw the IQ prep for it. She was repelled on the main visa window, or sorry, the main theater window, and she actually pre-fired on through the wall because she saw the scanner from the vigil through the wall. So really big brain play coming out here from Swak, taking a bit of damage himself. Don't know from where though. The Jedi there on the Zofia is going to be swinging onto the main lobby area. But looks like map control definitely now in favor of Phoenix Esports here. They're going to start taking control of this piano area, and this is not looking good for Team Meraki here, because look at that vertical angle being held by the IQ, or sorry, the Buck. He's on the repel, and from that very angle, he is cancelling out the bandit tricking, and well, main wall's going to go open. So now an avenue onto site here for Meraki Esports. No, sorry, for Phoenix Esports. Wrong team.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very smart play as well. I mean, once the Thatcher's off the board, you have to resort to being able to wipe out the batteries somehow, and they choose the perfect way to do so. They make sure they've got the angles done and dusted, everything looking very clean here so far from Phoenix, really just dismantling the defense one by one. Finding it very difficult to deal with at this point now. The Jaeger trying to take a fight all the way up in office, not going to come out on top just yet, but they're taking some very stark top floor control at the moment. Of course, that bomb all the way down in the basement is going to be quite the trek to get from top to bottom, especially with 55 seconds left. They've got to get their stuff moving pretty quickly, otherwise they might find themselves in a bit of a pinch.
Yeah, so there is middle floor player presence. They have the vertical play from Piano, but at the moment they really need to worry about that Jaeger, because if he comes and flanks on through at the right time, he can wreak havoc on the team. Sure, you've got Jedi here on the Zofia trying to deny that rotate, but as it stands, either of these players could win the gunfight. The Zofia does spot the Jaeger and she does find the kill. Now suddenly Phoenix Esports looking in a lot better position because the main wall is open. They've got the vertical play, and well, now it's just going to come down to the time. Are they going to be able to get this plant down? 20 seconds. They still have the Maestro turrets, and now the Bandit to fall. Kills coming out left, right, and center. Triple kill for Jedi. Now the Maestro left last life. He's going to try and deny this plant with his evil eyes. 4 seconds left on that diffuser. If that thing gets planted, it is a GG here for Meraki Esports, and it does get planted. There's almost no way for him to clutch this. In a 1v4, players pushing on from every angle imaginable, and eventually it will be the Thermite with 556 to lock out the kill. And the blue team in Phoenix Esports take the second round in a row now.
Yeah, and it's no surprise, really. I mean, as soon as I saw that clinical setup coming out for them, I knew it was going to be a tough one. I mean, even with that Jaeger on the back, Phoenix just had everything they needed. They were exactly in the positions they needed to be. They had all of the pressure down on towards the site. And, well, once those players started falling, and I mean, the players there from Meraki had every opportunity to fire back. I mean, there was one stage where I believe it was the Bandit was looking straight at one of the players up on the top floor, didn't even pull the trigger, went down immediately after that. And I mean, when you start losing off your picks like that, it's done. I mean, you can't win it out. You have to find some sort of counterplay. Otherwise, with a setup like that, Phoenix is just going to win every time. If they can pull that off again, they should be able to take this one pretty easily.
Yeah, so just quickly, Aldo, I do believe people in chat are saying that our voices are a lot higher than the game audio and struggling to hear it. So you could potentially do something about that. Maybe just up the game audio there on your side. But all around, so it's been some pretty.
Are we too loud or is the game too soft?
Yes, that's what comes first, the chicken or the egg? I mean, I guess you could fix it either way. People just have to turn down the volume on the stream. I don't know. But heading into it now, looks like Jared there on site doing some 180s. The man's having a fun time. But well, you wouldn't expect them to be having a fun time looking at this round count, because 2 rounds down, they're heading to the top floor bomb site. If they can't win this one right here, right now, that means they've lost once on each and every single one of their bomb sites. That means they're going to have to go back to at least one of those bomb sites again. And having set this precedent, it might be really hard for them to rack up rounds here on the defensive half. Jedi already here on the Zofia, repelled on into the A bomb site windows. Might try and find the engagement here with Jared on the Maestro, but still a very stagnant play coming out from Phoenix Esports. They're taking their time. They're placing out the Nomad air jabs. Currently, the one player repelled up on split. might just be able to find this engagement here with the smoke.
Yeah, this is slightly concerning, coming out from Meraki at the moment because, if you're just picking one site after the other and you're not actually doubling back to one of the sites, which is usually what we see, that means these teams, this team here on defense, Meraki, was feeling confident on their play, and now they're just trying to move to each site to try and get something going for themselves. It means they don't really want to go back to the next or to the previous site.
Oh.
They want to try and use the next one to try and get those wins, and well, it's not working out for them so far.
Yeah, I was going to say he needs to get out of that corner because he was droned out. They knew exactly where he was for the last 20 seconds. And, well, eventually you are going to get punished at this level of play. He used the Zofia impact grenades. And eventually they do a lot of damage there onto the smoke. One bullet and that man is going to go down. Jared as well takes a bit of damage here from the player on the connector repel. So he can go for this run out, sure, but the Nomad air jabs are, as always, prevalent. They are going to be denying that, even if it's just like in the back of your mind thinking it might be there, even if you don't know it is there. But now a flurry of kills coming out, Keem to fall now as well, and suddenly it's a 4v3 in favor of Phoenix Esports here.
Yeah, and it started out pretty decently. They got a nice pick on towards the back, but losing 2 players off the back of that, not feeling too good, especially now that Thermite gets the bomb down. They can get their post-plant positions up, and it's a 2v4. So once again, it's Meraki in a bit of a pinch. It's 2 players against 4, and they have to find so much here, and they're just not. Maestro goes down, and now 1 player. It's the Mozzie to try and do everything. Can he make it happen?
Yeah, it's going to be very hard with the P10 Roni 20 ammo capacity, and eventually he will fall from the Thermite with 5.56. Phoenix Esports, a 3-0 round count lead now. This is looking very dire from Meraki Gaming already.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're going bomb site to bomb site like that, you're not even doubling back because you don't feel confident enough in your previous site defenses. You're heading off to the next one. You find yourself in a situation where suddenly you have to choose between 3 sites where you've already failed once on. And that's got to be a bit of a shaky situation. You've got to be sweating just a little bit. Hopefully they can find something to bring it back, because right now the 3-0 scoreline is looking pretty daunting here for Meraki, especially in this head-to-head right here. Phoenix slowly just walking away with it, and they've got to shut down this momentum real quick.
And they're going back to Garage and Cafeteria now, and what I'm going to be looking out for is their roam play going to work out this time? Because last time round, the Vigil got picked off really early, and the Jaeger was basically just locked out on the one side of the map because the Zofia was holding her angle and knew exactly where he was. And that caused them to take control of Piano, and in a very convoluted manner, they got the breach open and they got the plant down, solely, in my opinion, because of the Roamers' failure. Now, in this round, I'm going to be looking, are they going to invest as heavily in the roamers this time around, or are they going to invest in the utility? And, well, what the operator picks are telling me is, well, they're going to double up on the roamers once again. The Vigil and the Jaeger on the board for Meraki Esports here once again.
Yeah. So right now they're picking up the Bandit again, which tells me that they, well, at least I hope, they have an answer for the previous setup they're coming out from Phoenix, because they were able to remove those Bandit charges, which ultimately allowed them to get in there and get that diffuser down. So what that means, what that's telling me, is that the fact that they're picking up the Bandit again and not trying to play anything counter, maybe up on the first floor, that means they have a plan to deal with that push coming in through the window, down through the floor, to take out those Bandit batteries. Well, if they don't, it's going to be a bit of a situation for them again. They might just lose control of that main garage door.
Yeah, what we've been seeing more and more in the upper leagues of Rainbow Six Siege, I showcase, especially the European League. I believe Team Secret, the one to really pioneer it these days, is a hold in B1, bathroom 1 next to Piano, and it really can help out. I mean, we saw it yesterday in the Odyssey versus who was it, Memento Mori game. The mute player on the hatch was able to get a 2K and completely lock out the entire vertical plane. From there, the site attack just completely collapsed, and really, I want to see the vertical play come out here, but at the moment, they're just investing in roamers solely. These roamers, sure, they're roaming, they're doing their job, but what are they accomplishing with that roam? They're going to get droned out now here in admin office, and they are doubled up. Sure, they can play off the refrags, but at the moment, they are so far removed from the actual position of contention, that being Piano, that you got to ask yourself, are they really going to do anything for their team in this position?
Yeah, that is the question. Last time, You called out the roam failure. This time around, let's see if it works out. The Jaeger sitting around on the top floor has got a lot to deal with here. And the Zofia was a big thorn in the side of Meraki the last time. Can they deal with it this time? It seems like they won't have to. The Thermite's going to open up things up with a very quick one on towards the Bandit. Now with the Bandit off the board, this could be a bit of a sticky situation here, and especially since now the smoke pretty low on HP, the disadvantage towards Meraki in terms of man count. They've got to find something quickly. The Jaeger's got to do something, and he does. He pulls the trigger onto Jedi. That's at least one. The Zofia off the board, but an immediate refrag comes out on the other side of the map. So 2 down now for Meraki in a 3v4, and they're losing HP very quickly here. They've got to hold on for as long as possible. 55 seconds left. Can they do it?
Yeah, Patriots is currently in the flank into Piano, and this is exactly what's needed. Go towards the point of contention and take those gunfights. Patriots with a triple kill on this round. The Vigil might just find another one for himself here inside of Storage Room. Tries to find the engagement here with, I believe that is Nomad. Sprays on through, a bit of damage done onto that player, but already a 2v3 in favor of Meraki Gaming here. Now, suddenly, what was it, a 5v3 is suddenly turned around, and this is looking very doable for Meraki Gaming if they can hold on to this bomb side, and that's exactly what they need. A quad kill for Patriots here. He's looking for the ace, but Electro is going to try and shut them down. Finds the opener here onto the Vigil now, left in 1v2. 20 seconds on the board. A lot to do, because especially, look at where the defuse is. It's by White Fan. There's almost no way to get there in time. Whips out the shotgun. He tries to find this engagement with smoke, but eventually, with the M590, it will be the smoke to clutch it out. And Meraki Gaming, they were really close to losing that one out, because early on into that round, Phoenix Esports, they realized they had 2 roamers in admin office. That means if we full invest our utility in just taking the bomb site, we're going to be almost 2v1 in each engagement. We can play off the refrags and we can just hard push onto the side, and that's exactly what the Thermite did, taking that open engagement really aggressively, but knowingly. He knew there weren't enough people on site to play for the refrag off the Bandit, and it worked out for them, and they would have been able to cascade off of it, but eventually just the play here from, I believe it was Patriots on the Jaeger, just incredible to help out his team there. Now we're going to be going to lobby and press room once again, see if, like Garage and Cafeteria, they can turn this around.
Yeah, and that was the big change up from between the last time they did the basement defense and this time around in that previous round. I mean, it was the Jaeger right at the top there, and the fact that he was able to find the Zofia really alleviated so much of that pressure, because last time around he wasn't able to find it, and the Zofia was able to go hand. They were able to take so much control of the map, and you can't deal with that. Once that happens, it's just so difficult to deal with. This time around, they managed to find those crucial kills that they needed, and just managed to scrape that win off the back of that. So they pick up their first round on the board, which is great, but can they do it again, this time heading to that first floor? And the last time we saw this happen, it was a very difficult one for them. They managed to not really get anything done, and especially once that main window was, or that main doorway was opened up and that bomb went down, it was so difficult to try and make something happen off the back of that. This time, they have to keep that control. They can't let that bomb diffuser go down, otherwise they're going to find themselves in a pickle once again.
Yeah, so the attack is now spawning in. Let's see if Castle once again is going to be dooming them to a fate, but as it stands, the top of Rem presence, the Vigil, once again trying to go for those spawn peaks, and eventually, this time around, it does work out. Injures, Clout, and a very important one, because that is, at least, if you count out the Zofia, your only soft reach off of the board, almost off of the board now, because he is in a DBNO state, might just get picked up by his teammates. It's like, no player is actually currently going for that revive. Looks like he's in a very risky position.
Yeah, definitely a risky position. Jedi is looking for it, though, just clearing all the angles before he goes for it. Despite the res, though, Buck's still going to be very, very low on HP. The covering fire does come out, so he can go up, but that's a really good way to start things out, and actually utilizing the Vigil finally, who hasn't really managed to find as much early impact as he would have liked in the previous rounds.
Yeah, so as it stands, he has done a lot of damage, but still, there are 2 minutes left in this round. Either of these teams can pull out ahead, and look at this double repel coming out, the double swing coming out, and Patriots to fall. The player that has been going massive in that previous round here from Meraki Gaming instantly just shut down. He's in a DBNO state, but there's almost no way, unless you get both of the kills here on the main admin office repel, there's no way you're picking this player up, and Team realizes that he's going to fall back. He's going to leave his man in Patriots to die. He's not going to be the Patriot and not leave a man behind. There are times when you got to realize, my guy, this is inevitable. Now the IQ, Swak here, rotating around into long days, tries to find the engagement with the Vigil, but the IQ, the one to fall. Now, 4v5, but essentially a 4v4 because Patriots, like we said, there's no way you're getting him back. But now, suddenly, a trade coming out, the UMP to lock out a kill, but eventually equalized out into Wilton, make that a 2-on-3 because now even more kills coming out from Meraki Gaming here. It's looking really good for them thus far.
Yeah, that was such an important kill to find on the IQ at the top. That's really allowed them to snowball, and you can see it's working out. Vigil staying alive, finding that ultimate kill at the top there, has allowed Meraki to take another map, just trading, snowballing off the back of that original kill, and that was huge. I mean, as soon as the Jaeger went down but not out, it was so important that the Vigil managed to find something, because if you lose control of that area, especially if you lose that trade against IQ, if you lose that fight, it becomes so difficult to win the round off the back of that. But he finds the fight, he finds the kill, and Meraki find another round.
Yeah, and one more on the board, and even closer to that coveted 3v3 that they are planning for, because after going 0-3 down, that's the best you can do on your defensive half. Now they're one step closer to that. 3-2 at the moment. They're going to be going to console and meeting office, and it looks like they might just be able to pull out all of the stops here and go to each of the bomb sites they lost out the first time around and actually win them out this time. So going to console and meeting office. Last time around, they lost a few players early on because of dumb engagements, but eventually they lost it out because of just a complete site collapse. So this time around, I want to see them hold onto the site just a bit tighter.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out, because we've seen Meraki go through every single site once already, lose it, and now come back for a second try. And on the second time around, they're managing to make it work. They're managing to find those small mistakes that they were making, the failures to do the rotations, the failures to get your roamers and actually find the impact that they needed, have been slowly rectified round by round, and they're picking up what they need to pick up. Can they do it here on the third site? Is it possible that they can just change it up enough, or at least start fixing those little mistakes enough that they can take this one, even things out 3-3?
Yeah, so definitely that is one of the best marks of a good team, is if you're able to... It's not just winning every round. No one can do that. Literally no one can do that. It's realizing your mistakes and fixing them as soon as possible, because if you can't fix it, it's going to snowball against you and you're going to lose the overall map. And as it stands, these guys, they are fixing their mistakes. They are realizing what they did wrong, and they are definitely improving upon it. So 3v2 at the moment, and see if they can make it 3-3 by this end of the split. Looks like the same strat coming out here from Phoenix Esports, going to be repelling on that split window here once again. Let's see if this does work out for them once again, but Clout to get the opening kill now. The Ash picking off the Valkyrie. Should have been able to pre-place his Black Eye, so should not be that big of an impact kill, but still losing a man that early on is going to be a big blow to your team.
Yeah, so right now we're going to have to look and see whether Meraki are going to be able to hold on in this man disadvantage. Last time, it didn't work out for them so well, but they've been doing a really good job of bringing things back, and they really need to try and clutch this round out to get that equalized. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves slightly on the back foot, which is obviously not a place where you want to be right now. So they've got to make sure they play a very clean game right now, and it's actually going to be a really aggressive one coming out from Patriots. What is it? He misses the knife as well. It was so close. I mean, it was right there in front of him, but he misses the knife anyway. At least finds one off the back of that, but that's a bit of a monkey.
I don't want to offend anyone in chat, but that is what I call a console run out. That is something that under no circumstance would ever work on PC. And I used to play console, no flame against you guys. It just is not as easy to aim on console. But now 4v2 is not looking good for Meraki Gaming.
Yeah, it's certainly not, especially as Ella goes down now. Mozzie, the last one left, and of course opting for the Roni makes it that much more difficult. You've got to find so many heads right now. It is just insane. 1v4 with 57 seconds left. He's got to hold on, and he's not even going to check this corner. He's going to go down immediately. There it is. Phoenix pick up the round, and so they will have that one-round lead.
Yeah, definitely a big thing on your attacking side, because traditionally Consulate, although... Yeah, so 2-round lead, 4-2. Consulate, not as defender-sided, because, as I typically say, the older a map is, the more equal it is in terms of attacking and defending. So it's not as defender-sided as other maps, but still inherent defender advantage in this game. It's Rainbow Six Siege. That is just the name of the game. The defenders have the inherent advantage. They can just sit and wait. The attackers need to make the move. So now Phoenix Esports, they're going to be on their defensive side, and they're actually picking up the Echo, a pick I like quite a lot. Going to console and meeting office, but instantly the pick that I liked 6-picked into a pick that I almost want to say I like even more, because we don't almost ever see a castle pick on console and meeting office. I want to see what they're going to do with this one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least. I like I said, the first time we saw the castle coming out, I like to see what players do with the castle, because it's always indicative of like what's going on in their heads and what they sort of have planned and prepared. Because obviously, if you're bringing out the castle, you need to have a prepared strat. Like your whole team needs to know where those barricades are going to be before this game even happens. Like when you pick up the castle, they need to know, okay, the barricades are going down here, here, and here. This is how we're going to play around, and this is the flow of the map that we want to take, and this is how we're going to set up, right? So it's always going to be interesting to see how it gets utilized, where those barricades go down. And now that we're here on the second floor, it's going to be interesting to see how they defend the stairs as well, yellow stairs, because that is usually a big point of contention. Obviously, you're going to stick those ADSs down, and that's probably why the Wamai was banned as well, because he can really help with the defense here. Here come the ADS. The question is this going to be a massive point of contention? Is the Meraki even going to go for the yellow stairs control?
Yeah, the thing is, they have flashbangs to burn out the ADSs, but you don't even really need that, because the only real projectiles on the side from Meraki Gaming are Zophia's stuns and impact grenades, but as well the Captar Firebolt and Asphyxiating Bolt. Those bolts aren't cancelled out by a Jaeger DS. You can just fire them on through willy-nilly and take care of this player by the yellow corridor. So at the moment, they might be able to just take this easy peasy. Now the breach charge is going out onto those castle barricades placed onto the connector window, and eventually it does blow up. So now definitely already long angles being opened up, but what is that angle? My guy, I have never seen that. That is
pretty interesting.
That's either going to work really well in contesting the split window, or that's going to absolutely doom them, because if I'm not mistaken, this player, the Nomad, can get an angle all the way through to yellow stairs through that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you always like to say, every hole can be peaked both ways, so definitely got to be watching out for that one. Hopefully, they can utilize it to their advantage and it doesn't come back to bite them in the butt. But the first thing that's going to happen is Jedi goes down to Patriot. That's a nice opener, at least for Meraki, as they try and get in towards the site.
Yeah, big opener there. The smoke taken off the board. 3 smoke canisters still in his back pocket, and now control of the yellow stairs in favor of Phoenix Esports. Swings wide, tries to find the Basel, the G8 whipping just that tad, but play on the flank is not going to catch it up. Somehow the man on yellow stairs gets the kill, as well as the Zofia here, I believe, inside of bathroom. Now this man is just going massive, gets a kill after kill after kill, the triple and the flawless for his team. Now, well done Meraki, they get that one somehow.
I mean, I'm not too sure what I just witnessed, to be completely honest with you. That just seemed like at 1 second it was like everyone was just setting up, it was all normal, and suddenly the entire map just burst out. Yeah, I don't know.
The first step for me right there was taking yellow stairs. When that smoke player went down, they lost control of the stairs as well as the bathroom, because the rotate was opened up from top yellow to bathroom side. And once that falls, you can't really hold on to the front desk. When you can't hold onto the front desk, you need to fall back into either long desk, connector, or the main admin side. But the main connector window was being held, admin window was being held, so all the players really fell back to either theater and long desk, and well, they just swung on right and they got the kills onto the Valkyrie in theater and the Jaeger that was there in long desk. So really, that was really well executed from Meraki Gaming. They read that hold almost perfectly.
Yeah, and well, what a way to start out your attacking half here. Meraki looking nice and strong and looking to take some rounds back for themselves. They're not too satisfied with the way that first half went, looking to bring things back in their favor this time around and slowly looking to even things out. If they win this one out, they could potentially do just that. But right now, of course, Phoenix looking to try and set up their defense here on the basement. And, well, it is going to be interesting to see if Meraki will be able to dismantle this one like they did the previous round.
Yeah, so it looks like essentially the same operator lineup here coming up from the defenders this time around. Tries to go for that early aggression, however cannot find the spawn peak. Jared had put on a very low HP, but none of these players are going to fall just yet. The Capital going to take care of that CCTV camera there by Spiral Stairs. And there's actually a player right outside of Yellow Stairs. The Legion can be very lucky that he was not caught out by that one, but the Vigil still going to try and contest there at the top floor. He's still going for those early aggression.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see how they're taking this map right now, and we'll see if Phoenix can hold on to the defense right now. Quite a bit of pressure being put on towards the top floor. Drones coming in there and getting some information. You can see Keem, the star of the show, breaking in to the site in the previous one, looking to do the same here, just looking on in and seeing if any picks will come his way. We'll see if that is going to be the case. Lots of time to work with here, and well, Meraki just setting themselves up and getting ready here. You could see Patriots on the IQ pushing up the stairs. Cloud has to be ready for this one.
Yeah, Patriots might just find this engagement with the Vigil, especially because we saw this engagement happen previously, except the sides are switched. And last time around, the IQ was able to win it because of her ability. Let's see if this does happen this time around again, but it looks like the IQ will be opting to use her primary gun. Not going to be going for that P12 pistol with the IQ scanner. And it looks like a lot of backup actually coming this side, and eventually Cloud to fall. Keem taken down, however, from the Legion, but the IQ is going to try and rotate in and try and find that kill, but Legion has fallen back to side successively.
Yeah, that was super close, but the movement from Legion just in time to get around that corner, not go down just yet. So the trade, 1-for-1, the Zofia off the board on the side of Meraki, and of course the Vigil off the board for Phoenix. So those are two big players, but the early game having already passed, it's pretty much okay for Phoenix that Vigil's off the board. If they can hold on to site, they should be good. The question is, can Meraki pull the trigger in the next 44 seconds? That's what we're going to wait to see. They're a little bit low on HP, so they've got to make this happen real quick.
So the main breach is currently being opened. There we go. The Thermite exothermic just has been detonated. They're all pressuring down from Yellow Stairs as well, but most important is going to be that vertical play. However, the Nomad taken out by the Jaeger, swinging wide onto this main breach, trying to pick up Jared here. C4 could be very devastating to this team, but luckily all of them have been expended. Going to try and go for this plant, but 15 seconds now. Still a lot of stacked utility on this defensive side. There's almost nothing the attackers can do now. 10 seconds, they're falling one by one. Look at that. 3 crossfires being held onto that one player. Tries to go down Yellow, but just no way he's going to make it happen. Patriots left last blood. He needs to save his KD. Eventually, it is the defenders to take it. Blue team one more round up now, and oh, they're 5-3.
Yeah, and well, they basically just ran out of time there. The setup was not in time. I mean, you saw the Capital just charging down the staircase. He had to sit there reloading for I don't know how many seconds. Obviously, that LMG takes a little bit longer, which is why a lot of players opt for the AR instead. But he has to move down those staircases. And like you said, they're all just waiting for him to come down. He had absolutely no chance. The setup just wasn't there, and they weren't able to execute on it in time. I mean, you know, sure, you got the Vigil up in the top, but how long did it take you to get that one single player? And with no clapback, with no refrag, there's just no setup to play off of. And, well, the inevitable occurs. 5 rounds now on the board for Phoenix. They're edging slowly towards that match point. So Meraki need to be really careful here. They need to execute a near perfect stretch here on the attacking side.
Yeah, so they're going back to console and meeting room now, the site that they lost out on last time around. So let's see if they can change things up. If I'm them, I don't open that rotate again, and indeed, I believe he's going to be doing no. Pana's opening that once again. I genuinely don't know if that is the play. Like I said previously, that allows for an angle all the way onto Yellow Stairs, and that is what has been one of the main points of their hold, is that Yellow Stairs, because the smoke's been playing them. It looks like he's going to do it once again. They are opening up the bathroom wall, and Jedi to get the first kill onto Cloud. The Jaeger down. That is currently 9 for 6 for his team, being the absolute hard carry aside from Pana. That's a big one to fall.
Yeah, that's slightly feels bad, man, I think. Definitely don't want that to go off the board, especially considering your Jaeger is quite a big presence on the map, and you definitely don't want him to go down, especially here on the second floor. I mean, you want that presence in Yellow Stairs, or at the very least, you want the movability of that Jaeger on the board and the power of that rifle. And, well, that going down so quickly is going to make things a lot easier for Meraki to pull off here. So a big mistake that could cost Phoenix quite a lot.
Yeah, so already a player down. It's never the position you want to be in. We've seen it happen a few times this tournament, but obviously you don't want this. You don't want to be a man down because of mismanagement, and well, that was exactly mismanagement because he just ran in front of the shotgun, I believe, when he was opening up a rotate. So unfortunate. In those situations, you always ask yourself who's to blame: the player that shot or the player that ran in front of him. It's kind of a neither here nor there. But now the blue team here in Phoenix Esports is going to pull out every stop imaginable, and well, that's the first stop. Taking down Patriots on the IQ.
Yeah, that's a big one, especially considering it's been the IQ that's been so painful for the Vigil to deal with, and taking off straight off the board is a big one. You can see hitting on that colossal barricade, trying to break through. It's going to be King to actually swing on in towards yellow. This could be a bit of a problem, but it's dealt with immediately. Really being able to hold on to this one. They are absolutely compensating right now for the loss of that initial playoff of Jaeger. Hopefully they can hold on. Only a minute and 30 left to go here. Meraki just got to hold on and try and push in towards the site.
Yeah, he was way too tunneled on the smoke on yellow stairs when the smoke had already rotated out. He was caught out now, but still the Zofia to fall. A lot of utility taken off the board. Now, sure, you've still got the Sledge's impact grenades and as well the Captar's firebolts, but definitely not a lot of utility, all things considered. Now, they need to take care of this. The Valkyrie is currently roaming down below, so she might just be able to go and run out because the Nomad is currently repelling there onto the the west side. No, that's the south side. I've gone through all my Wintergatan now. My geography teacher would not be proud, but now the Valkyrie to fall. Electra taken off the board with the L85 Frenzy. Is that Frenzy? I don't know what that man's name is, but Jared with a double kill. Pana left last life. Well, okay. The Nomad's all the way outside. There's no way he can actually go for that refrag. This is now essentially a 1v1. He's in bathroom side, and it looks like the castle knows of it. Holds the position. His pre-fire's on in through as he spots the player, but now 1v1 do. They know where each other is. The intel is going to be what wins this one out because it's not as easy to aim on console, and eventually clutching out the 1v3. My man Castle here, Pana, guaranteeing Phoenix Esports the overtime, and now 3 rounds up. This is definitely not looking good for Meraki Gaming because not only are they 3 rounds down, but after that 1v3 loss, their morale is going to be absolutely in the gutter.
Yeah, that is just not the way you want it to go. I mean, Phoenix even losing that initial player in Jaeger and Meraki having such a good start to things. They get inside, they get punished. A bit of tunneling from Zofia gets punished. Everyone's trying to get in, and it looks good for them. They manage to work things out, and suddenly they get 1v3'd by a castle, and that is just absolutely devastating now, especially considering Phoenix sitting on that match point, and Meraki have so far to go. They need 3 rounds in a row here, strung together, if they want to even things out and have a chance at that overtime.
Remember when you said earlier on during Consulate that Castle, once he places out his castle barricades, is basically just an underpowered operator with the UMP? Yeah, he just said, screw you.
Yeah, he just made me eat my words big time. He's like, you know what? I'm going to show you that my operator is really cool. Screw you. All right, I'll take it, man. Good job.
So yeah, heading down to this lobby side. Looks like Pana is having a bit of a connectivity issue there, but going to be heading on to main lobby area. Let's see what they can do with this one, because obviously they're on match point, and hopefully they don't throw as hard as Titanod as he did yesterday on what's this Consulate of all things. Yeah, Pana, he's not having a good time. That man's rubber banding everywhere. But yeah, as things stand, 6-3. It's not looking good for Meraki Gaming.
Yeah, and I mean, if Phoenix can pull it off 1 player down, then surely they can pull it off with their
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a testimony to how far Phoenix has been leading in this game. 6-3. Sure, the scoreboard is telling you something, but when you have a team kill and you still win the round, that is telling you even more.
Yeah, I mean, it really started off with the fact that Phoenix started this half out so strongly, and then moving on to the second half, Meraki were looking to pull it back, but I mean, there's a long distance to go, and if you make a mistake, it becomes that much more difficult, especially when you're down 3-0. It just, or even 3-1, it's just not where you want to be right now. So hopefully they can find something back, because 1 mistake, 1 loss is going to cost them this map. And that's obviously going to be a tragic way to start things out. Definitely going to be working on that mental, which is quite a big part of this game in general. We'll see. Nobody's been taken out just yet. Really a bit more of a slow setup for both of these teams. interesting to see.
Yeah, so a minute and 10 seconds has elapsed, and the Jaeger, he's going to try and go for that early ingression onto the player on the south side repel, but not going to find anything just yet. Swak here inside of that, and Office going to get taken down. The IQ Vigil rivalry continues on even more. The Jaeger currently stuck inside in this top floor area. Going to find, actually no, that's Jedi down below with the T5 SMG to find a kill. The Jaeger, it does not look like they know his position, but another person that I didn't even know the position of, Pana rotating out somehow, continuing to go massive for his team. Walden here to himself, getting a double right there, and now Plex left last live in a 1v4.
Yeah.
Points.
Yeah, Nomad. Finally, once again, 1 minute left, and it's just the Nomad left alive to try and make everything happen. Even he knows it's basically done. I think not even going to try and go for this one. It's just pretty much done and dusted here. Kind of sad. I mean, obviously, I'd like to see a 1v4 here, which would have been possible. You just try and crack on in and isolate your angles. And sure, it's not the most easy thing to happen, but I mean, you got to try, surely.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you got to ask yourself what's worth it. Trying the 1v1 or 1v4, sorry, or actually just taking this time to recoup as a team. Sure, you've got this 5-minute break between matches, but definitely, and these guys are just going to be taking the moment to talk about them errors here on not Clubhouse, continually keep on mixing up the two C's on Consulate. So, 10 seconds now, this is a done deal. This is Phoenix Esports map.
Is there a difference between a clubhouse and a consulate? Yeah, consulate's basically just like a clubhouse for. You know?
Yeah, I catch your drift, but Pana definitely deserving of this MVP. This man went massive with his team a few rounds over, so having that MVP position here, well done to the entire squad of Phoenix Esports. And I believe we're gonna be going to a quick break just before we head on into that second map, which it will be Clubhouse Meraki Gaming Spec, and eventually the deciding map will be Villa. So still a lot of gameplay here today. This is only the first quarterfinal of 2 today. So F's in chat, we have an update to Rainbow Six Siege. Okay, we're going to go to a quick break, I think, just to see what's going to happen. Apparently, it's a 1.4 gigabyte update, so not the tiniest of file size. So I think we're going to go to a quick break, get the admins to decide exactly what's going to happen, then we will be back shortly to just update everyone in chat here on what is going to be the case.
sun. But we were flames and fell in love. We burned the cities down.
Hello, everyone, and yeah, the worst fears have been realized. The 1.54 gig update has been implemented. So as it stands, we're going to go to an extended break. We don't know when we're going to be back. Obviously, this is going to be down to how fast internet all of the players on the side of Meraki and Phoenix Esports have. Obviously, our admin, it is a 5 minutes update, but not everyone is blessed with the fast internet speed. So if it comes down to it and we have someone that's going to take an hour to update this, we might just have to reschedule this matchup. Otherwise, we're going to try and still have this matchup happen today. But even if it doesn't happen, 7:30, be back here. We're going to have Aladdin Velocity versus Omnius Gaming. Definitely going to be a very big matchup. So we're going to try and have this matchup still happen. And we might update you guys later on here whether it is eventually going to happen or not. But as it stands, we don't know yet. So be patient. We're going to try our best. Thank you so much for joining thus far. If you want to take a break from the stream, sure, maybe just leave it on in your back pocket because you never know what's going to happen. We might just have this up and going within the next 10 minutes, hopefully, but we can't guarantee anything just yet. So thank you guys for joining. Stick by if you want some more action between Phoenix Esports and Meraki Gaming. But for the time being, I need a fuse signing out.
Yeah.
My mother told me when I was young, we still inspire, sorry son. You won't be lonely if you fall in love over and over again and again. I'm living my life according to the law of attraction. It's like extreme reaction. I never wanna die. I'm living that life with no direction. I thought you learned your lesson. Thought you learned your lesson. Over and over again and again.
Told you to walk away. That was my first and last mistake. I'm blue without your face. But what can I do? 'Cause I'm just a sinking ship, and you're just a pair of lips that I've lost in the moment. All I want is for you to come back. Now I'm caught in the middle of life, and I need you to survive.
my emotions. I left my doubts when I was swept by the ocean, and every pulse from the tide was a finish line. A wave race we were made to ride. You and I were first in line, and we took them by surprise. I was with you all the time. You may not realize, but I'm here. I hear you loud and clear. When we get lost in our own minds, you'll be keeping me near. I painted skies that left my mind. They were your design. I followed roads that won't take me home, but lead me to your side. There is a burning in the clouds. Take a deep breath in and step out from among those crowds. Let the feeling of realization in that I'm here. I hear you loud and clear. When we get lost in our own minds, you'll be keeping me near. You'll be keeping me near. when you want to get off the darkest ground. But gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, Echoes of your words crashing into me, drown me in your lies, and there's no way to breathe. And my walls will keep you down. I am safe without the sound of you around. It's getting colder, and I'm the storm that's taking over.
Suck the life right out of my veins when you spoke my name. Got the kind of thing going that tips the scales. Yeah, you keep me sane. I'll be the clouds beyond your skies. We'll flutter by like butterflies. I'll be the blue inside your eyes. Your crazy loving keeps me paralyzed. Oh, this is what it feels like. Oh, this is what it feels like. Oh, this is what it feels like. To see reflections of you all around. Oh, this is what it sounds like. Oh, this is what it
want you to jump like you trying to get stuck in the air. If you feeling so lit and don't care, shorty beating her face in the mirror, up in the air. I want you to jump, 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 up in the air. I want you to jump, jump. Like you trying to get stuck in it. In the air. Like you trying to get stuck in the air. I want you to jump like you trying to get stuck in the air. If you feeling so lit and don't care, shorty beating her face in the mirror, up in the air. I want you to jump like you trying to get stuck in the air. If you feeling so lit and don't care, shorty beating her face in the mirror, up in the air. I want you to jump, jump. I want you to jump, 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 jump. Up in the air, I want you to jump, 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 jump. Like you trying to get stuck in it. Gotta get it, in the air.
Oh, we live already. Hello. I guess we straight skipped the ad, but we're back. Eventually, we are back. Let your friends know. I guess a lot of people did actually leave the stream, but we are back. So, going to be heading straight on into Clubhouse, the second map, obviously. Phoenix Esports won out Consulate, and yeah, we're heading to Clubhouse. Without further ado, we're going to head straight on into it because we have no time to spare, quite literally. The PC game starts at 7:30, and if we aren't done by then, well, we're gonna have to leave this game. We're not gonna have it casted. We're gonna focus on the PC game starting at 7:30. But heading to Clubhouse, let's get into the spam phase.
Yeah, and let's get into it strong because Meraki going to be feeling a little bit down after that first map that didn't go so well for them. Especially, with this sort of jarring break in between, they're going to want to go back into this one strong. And I mean, on Clubhouse, it could definitely be possible. It could certainly be something that they can achieve here.
Yeah, and just starting out with this ban phase, we know how important the main wall play is on, especially cash side, gym side, and down below in dirt tunnel. So the Thatcher and the Maverick now taken off the board. Both these operators do aid in opening up those walls, so them taking off the board is definitely going to make this very defender-sided. But let's see what these defensive bans end up being.
Yeah, that Maverick ban is pretty much a guaranteed one. Like, you have to ban Maverick on this map, otherwise he becomes such a nuisance on pretty much all of the classical sites.
And now that we're my band on once again, so at least a tad bit taking out the utility on the defensive side. So not as defensive-sided as you would have expected, having seen the Thatcher and the Maverick band. The last band now coming out from Phoenix Esports will be, drum roll please, they're taking long on this one, they're indecisive, but it will be the Echo. So it was utilized quite a bit in that previous game over on the side of Meraki Gaming. So a pretty decent band.
Yeah, it's also one of those bans that you kind of sort of almost have to do because just he does offer quite a bit of utility, quite a bit of power, especially on this map where you could potentially play Echo in a bit of a sneaky way, have him play very far off of the site, and if he doesn't get taken out, if he doesn't get spotted, then he can become a very big nuisance when just stopping those plants from coming through. So yeah, a pretty strong set of bans across the board.
Yeah, so now Phoenix Esports obviously starting on the defensive side. This is Meraki Gaming's map pick, so obviously they chose to start on this attacking side, but heading to Church and Arsenal now. Let's see what Phoenix Esports do here, and once again actually bringing that castle. But on the other side of the board, the Montaigne pick is going to be sticked, so quite interesting operator picks all throughout.
Yeah, Monty is actually one of those operators that we did see a while back getting picked up on this particular map and utilized to some very big, utilization, I guess I should say. It's something that came out and became such a problem that we did see it get banned quite a bit on this map. So the fact that it's left up and the fact that it's just going to go straight into the hands of Meraki is quite big, because that tells me that they have at least some sort of plan with this operator. But every time I see the Monty come out on the board, I have to say, how is this going to work? Because we see this operator swings like hugely.
Yeah.
This is either a big hit or a big miss.
Yeah, sorry, I was interrupting for 1 second, but we're saying SSG top floor roam strat. Now, chat, if you don't know what that is, pioneered by Space Station Gaming, the world champions in the previous 6 invitational, is you played bottom floor on Clubhouse, you played Arsenal and Church, and well, you play full top floor. Now, the most integral part of this is being able to fall back the right time. Obviously, you see there, construction hatches, as well as I believe the motorway drop down, have been opened up, as well as a lot of rotations, and the castle barricades assisting in just allowing the rotations to not be cut off. But this is the exact answer to the SSG top floor roam strat. Is you rush through dirt, and especially with the Montaigne on the team and only one anchor on site currently, it might shape up to be an attacking side for round.
Yeah, I was about to say, SSG top floor roam strat's great and all, but when you have a Monty walking straight through dirt, just getting all of that info, you need to rotate very quickly. You got to fall back to side immediately, and the Nomad's going to be the first to fall, so at least they've got that going for themselves. But here comes the Monty.
And on the other side of the map now, Patriots finds a kill. The IQ to get one, but look at this. He's rushing down main stairs. He's going to get a pincer onto this castle if he is not careful. But as well, the rest of the players need to start falling back. They're still currently inside of logistics and the top floor area. Now, the players are on the site. they're getting the bomb down. There's a Monty, so once this plant comes down, there's almost no way to retake this. And yep, the Thermite has planted. Sure, the Zofia goes down, onto back with the kill onto the castle there, but now in an essentially 3v3 with a Monty on the board and the diffuser down, there's almost no way for the defensive side to retake this.
Yeah, this is pretty much done and dusted. The strat was just absolutely hard counted straight off the back end. What a way to start things off. We're going to get some smacks from the Monty right in towards Hypes. And, well, now we've just got a big problem here. Vigil going to find one, but he's got so much work to do, not enough bullets to make it happen. So the attackers will take round one.
Yeah, very quick round there. I believe the diffuser got planted within, the first 40 seconds of that round. So really, just Phoenix Esports, they had a strat. They knew what they wanted to do. It was just a tiny flaw, and that they weren't ready for the side rush. That's the one thing you need to be ready with if you play that strat. Is sure, you can play top floor and you can have that really wide extension, but once they push side, you need to be ready for it. And it looks like with this operator lineup, they're going to be doing it once again. The castle on the board, as well as the Meat and Mozzie combo assisted by the Vigil, going to be playing against those drones. So I would not be surprised if they go for this once again. But honestly, with the Montaigne on the board once again, I do not think this is the play.
Yeah, whenever I see a team double back to a site immediately after losing it, you always have to wonder for yourself, is this their response because they feel confident, or do they feel like there's something that went wrong? You know, like, what's the reason that they double back? Because they lost it, and relatively convincingly at that. So obviously they have something in mind to respond, and they have to. If they don't respond to this Monty, if there's no way that they can take this Monty out or know how to play around this, and they drop once again, I'm going to seriously be questioning what the thought process was behind this, getting right back into the same site with the same sort of lineup here.
Yeah, so literally no one on site at the moment. All 5 of these players are assisting in the utility upstairs. Sure, you've got the Legion. He's currently reinforcing dirt tunnel, so kind of a good thing to see there. But across the board, literally only the Legion downstairs. You see the Mute there currently reinforcing the cash wall as well, the Jacuzzi wall as well being reinforced, so a lot of utility investment up top. Once again, it seems not geared for a downstairs rush, and with the Monty waltzing on over, it looks like it's going to be exactly what happens once again.
And it's not like the Monty's unexpected at this point. They sixth picked it, but they sixth picked the Monty into a Monty, so it's like, this Monty can't be unexpected. They have to know it's on the board. They have to know that they have to find some way to take him off, or at least respond to the play. Because if this just plays out like the previous round, it is going to be incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, and at the moment it's panning out once again, but the Electro to get an opening kill into Patriots, that's a massive one to find. And look at this, 3 players are currently down below on side, so they are ready to answer back to this Monty. They have the crossfire set up on him, so at least a lot better than the previous round. You still have those 2 roamers up top that the attackers need to worry about as well. They are currently stacked here on the side. Jedi taking a tad bit of damage, but overall, they are prepared for this. They've got the Legion as well, so there's no way for this Monty to actually push on up without stepping in those goo mines and having to fall back and take them out.
Yeah, and this is a bit better of a response to that Monty pressure down through dirt. Obviously, they're going to have to respond to the rest of these players as well. Of course, the Legion getting a couple of pricks in, but they're going to have to find a lot more than that if they want to respond. Because the Monty is just walking in. He's taking a lot of attention. Now some shots coming through. Jedi is going to fall, and the rest of them are going to fall as well. That Monty's just taking up so much attention. It's too much for them to handle.
And now, once again, Thermite going for the plant in the default spot. Hypes can't really do anything. The Monty gunning him down as well. The Vigil getting caught out in a Nomad air jab. Tries to swing, finds. No, does not even find the Nomad. Now in a 1v4, Hypes with the SMG-11 can't really do anything. Whips out the shotgun, but with the M762, Keem on the Zofia get the final kill, and that is a yikes.
Yeah, that's a big yikes. I mean, sure, maybe if you had some thought in your mind of how to counter the strat, it's definitely viable to head back, but if I were them, as soon as I see that Monty getting picked up again, I straight up go to CCTV, I try something else, and hope that it works out for me. Doubling back to basement after losing so convincingly the first time around, and then losing it again, and then heading back again. Oh man.
I was waiting for that.
So many questions.
So at this point in time, almost the exact same operator lineup. Sure, you've got the Cade this time, which I don't know. Okay, I actually guess the Cade could work pretty well, because the main thing counting in favor of the attackers now has been how quickly they've been able to open up to a tunnel. With Thatcher and Maverick Band, there's really no way outside of maybe a nade being chucked through the drone hole on Dirt Tunnel to open that up when there's a Cade Artilla placed on that wall. So at the very least, that Cade is going to allow them to buy a bit of time for their team to maybe rotate on back to site once they realize there's a push coming through, because they're not able to open up this wall as quick as possible. But still, at the very least, okay, it looks like they are playing a linear setup there, reinforcing the hatches. They are not playing as willy-nilly as previously. No roamers on the top floor currently.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to strats and setups and whatnot, you really have to be prepared for certain outcomes. And when you see the Monty strat and you're playing a strat that is exceptionally weak to that particular strat, you lose it and you try and pick it up again. It starts to raise those questions. Now, heading into the third round, where we find Phoenix once again on basement, already 2 rounds down, still the Monty on the board for Meraki. They're just heading straight on in. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. I mean, is the Cade going to really help? Sure, now they've hard reinforced Dirt, but Monty's not even heading for Dirt anymore. I mean, Meraki have obviously practiced the strat a little bit. They know how to respond. They know what to do, and if Dirt's not available, they just go somewhere else. And well, that's actually good. That's big.
That is a big pick, because now the Monty off the board, you don't have to worry about him anymore. The Vigil to get the opener. He's currently getting droned out, but with that CRS, I believe, is his cloaking device. That's what it's called. I don't know. Correct me in chat. But Hypes to get a kill for himself as well on the Jaeger, taking down the Zofia. Now a lot of utility as well off the board, and the Vigil to find another. Actually, they trade on down. So 42 man count. You've got the Thermite and the Nomad with 2 minutes on the clock. What can you do in this scenario?
Well, first off, that was a critical kill to get on towards the Monty, and I'm not 100% sure why Meraki weren't actually backing the Monty up. We see this happen quite a lot for teams that run the Monty strat. A lot of the times we see that Monty just floating off in the distance with no support, and that is literally a waste of Monty, because Monty doesn't do anything by himself. The power of the Monty comes from the fact that he's this giant walking meat shield that you can put people behind, or that you can attract attention away from certain angles. I mean, we saw in the previous round where the Monty was taking up so much attention, they could just peek on the people who were watching Monty because they had all the angles free. No one was watching them. And seeing the Monty floating around alone, definitely not how you want that to go. And now 2 players left for Meraki. They have to find so many heads. It's just not going to be possible, especially with an angle that's being held like this. It's just the Nomad, and well, not much to do.
The worst, but eventually finds the kill. Perplex left last life. 1v3 has done a tad bit of damage there onto the Legion. The diffuser is currently dropped in oil pit. There's a player behind electrical. There's almost no way to get on into site, and eventually it will be the Legion to answer back onto the Nomad. Now, 1 to 2 round count, and you've got to ask yourself, the defensive side on a very defensive sided map was going back there twice in a row. The play, sure, you've won one round off that, but you've lost 2 on a defensive sided map. So already they are down.
Yeah, definitely an interesting one. I think that third round wasn't necessarily one off the back of any overly incredible stuff from the side of Phoenix. They did everything they needed to do. They held it down just fine. I think it was a bit of a failure to execute the strat from the side of Meraki that really caused that one to falter for them a little bit. Now we're going to head back to some sort of more traditional lineups here. Hibana getting switched out for the Monty instead. So no Monty this time around for Meraki, and of course the CCTV is going to be the play this time around. Whether or not it was worth it to head back to the site 3 times, I can't say. The fact that they got 1 out of that at least is fine, I guess. But losing 2 is definitely not the way you want to start things out. So they have a little bit of work to do here.
Definitely have work to do here on CCTV. Heading here now. Obviously, if they win this one, they're going to have to head over to gym and bedroom. But that is still up for grabs. See if they can win it out here on CCTV. Obviously, now with that Thatcher and the Maverick ban, as we've been saying, going to sway things to the defensive side. So you'd hope the defensive side can rack up some rounds, but as things stand, that's just not been happening. 1 to 2 at the moment. Sure, they've got a lot of utility investment here on the team this time around. You've got the Goyo, you've got the Maestro, and as well as the Legion. So definitely a lot of utility to play with, and quite frankly, on the opposing side, only really the Zofia to deal with that utility. So the vertical angle's being opened up now as well. It's like the defensive team is definitely ready for this push to come through.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, the Goyo pickup is a big one. We've seen that quite often before, especially on maps similar to this. It's a big one, and I mean, even with the nerf just a while back, taking away one of his shields, he's still a pretty strong operator. Definitely one that provides quite a bit of strong util. Clearing him out is one thing, or circumnavigating is another one of those. So you really have to decide how you're going to play around that particular setup. Whether they can do it or not is about to be seen here as we start things out. And Meraki now, of course, looking forward to that bomb site, looking to see if they can find any quick picks or anything like that that's going to give them that go signal. And wow, IQ's going to go down in the meantime.
And the Jaeger falling back to the... Oh, it finds another. It finds the Hibana, I believe, as well as the IQ now. So 2 massive kills as he falls back to reload his 416C carbine. Trying to find a third, actually. He is pre-firing on through into stock, so might just be able to find another one down below there. He's not been answered back to, and now the thermite, sure, you've still got him, but you need to open up that wall, and with the Cade Electroclaw still up, almost no way for them to open this as it stands, because they don't even have the downstairs control for the Zofia to go down below and open up the floorboards. So really, things are not looking good for the side of Meraki Gaming, but still a minute 30 to work with here. They've rotated onto the CCTV main window. Looks like they're going for a different avenue onto this attack.
Yeah, and I mean, that's definitely what they're going to have to find. I mean, it's all well and good to execute some Monty strats and come off the back of that, but you really need to have a lot more in the strat book to work out for you if you want to win on this particular map, and that's what they're trying to show here. Hopefully trying to find something on the board. This is, of course, that first round that we're seeing of them without that Monty strat coming through, and also that we're seeing here on CCTV. So far, not going so well for them. They have to find some angles. They have to find some hits, and they will find one onto Hypes at least, but is it too little too late?
Yeah, you got to ask yourself that question. 50 seconds on the clock. Sure, you're now going to start taking control of construction and maybe start pressuring onto the bomb site, but if I am the Cade who's still alive, note, he can take off the artiller on the main wall and he can place it onto this construction wall, but now the Zofia with a great opener as well. The wall being open, so now 30 seconds on the clock, equalized out into a 3-on-2-3. They have an avenue onto the site, and they still have a lot of utility in the Zofia. So suddenly, this is looking doable for Meraki Game. The question is, are they going to be able to find these kills? Flashbangs rain out, the opener coming out in way of the Alder, but the Zofia to answer back, however, and injured through the wall. Our left last life is Frenzy here, but eventually he gets answered onto with a Vector Electro to get the final kill, and that is Phoenix Esports to take the round now, equalizing it out 2-on-2.
Yeah, a decent hold coming out from them. They managed to just keep themselves good, and I mean, that really started out with the big picks coming out from Jaeger. They're really putting a big problem in the side of the plan of Meraki. I mean, that's really not the way you want things to start out. And yeah, going into that one, just making trades when you're down a man is obviously not going to be enough. You're obviously going to lose that, especially when you're playing against the defenders, who obviously have that inherent advantage there when it comes to the defense and getting those trades with the man up. Looks like they might be going for a Monty again, which I'm slightly questioning here, because on a CCTV attack, sure, it can work. You know, you go in towards garage, you try and push them up. In a bedroom attack, not so much.
Yeah, so Monty is definitely useful, but on a site like bedroom, where honestly the most important thing here is going to be those windows. He's going to be extremely vulnerable from the side, especially from that main CCTV window. If they potentially go for a run out from that side, try and catch the Monty off guard from his backside, basically, because sure, you've got the Monty shield and his ability is to extend that massive beast, but you're only covering yourself from about 180 degrees. The rest of it, well, you're completely exposed, and that's up to your team to defend you. Now, we've been seeing the Monty, it's really been a hit or miss thus far. He's died on once really early, and the other 2 rounds, he's helped quite a lot. I mean, he pushed through Dirt Tunnel on his own, made a massive impact on those rounds, but this time around, I don't think he's going to have as big of an impact.
Yeah, I mean, usually at this point, you know, you would still push that Monty up through garage, up the catwalk, up into CCTV, and then push from there. But if they're not playing, if they're not having any presence from the defender side in that area, it might not be as worth it as you would want it to be. And then you have to start evolving your strategy a little bit, adapting to what's going on. And that's really what we're going to have to see coming out here, because things are even now. It's 2-2. They're going to try and find something here, even though it's a little bit on the back foot now.
Yeah, and at the back foot, definitely. But look at this defensive setup coming out from the defenders here. The Monty is going to try and start to clear out the CCTV area, but he is definitely going to be contested. There's going to be a hold inside of Cash, and that's going to delay time on the attacking side. Sure, you've got a Monty to deal with it. You can literally just walk on through that doorway, but this is still going to delay some time. There is a possibility for crossfires all the way through into construction, and the mirror does join up, but on the other side of the board, the IQ to get a kill there. The Commando 9, a big opener now. Patriots and Perplex are going to be joining this Fontaine and trying to clear out this cache and construction area. So they try and find the kill onto Electro on the castle and Jedi here on the mirror, but as it stands, they have fallen. I was going to say as it stands, they're still alive, but instantly answered back by the Zofia, and I believe the IQ to get one more. Now suddenly it's all falling apart for the defenders.
Yeah, and we said they had to adapt this strat. We said they had to find those openers, and that's what they're doing. They've found 3 or 4 so far. It's just the Vigil left alive, and can he make it happen? He finds the head of 1. He's got to find 3 more, though, and those castle back are becoming a bit of an issue. He nades them out, but he's going to have to find the kill, and he does, and instantly taken out. So the attackers will, they'll make it happen.
Yeah, so another round on the board for the attackers now, getting that 3 rounds. As an attacker on Clubhouse, that is what you aim for. I mean, you're okay with a 2 to 4 because it's an inherently defensive-sided map, but 3 to 3, you're good. And the thing is, they can still play for that 4 to 2. So heading back to Church and Arsenal, obviously they've lost 2 defenses, 1-1 on Church and Arsenal, but heading back there and see what happens this time around, because no castle on the board, so they're not going for the SSG top floor roam strat at the very least. So they're going to be playing the the more conservative lineup that has worked out for them at the very least.
Yeah, and obviously we're going to be seeing the Monty come out once again. The attack is most likely going to look in for the potential dirt tunnel. Of course, they do have the bandits and the Kaida both on the board, so they can reinforce the heck out of that. And it will be a little bit difficult to play around that. And last time they did that, it worked out pretty okay. If they're able to catch out the Monty again, it's going to be just an easy round for them, I think, probably, or at least a lot easier than it would usually be. I guess it's all just up to whether or not Meraki actually play the Monty with somebody, or if they play a little bit defensively around there and make sure the Monty doesn't just go down for any, free real estate there. That's probably going to determine how this round plays out.
Yeah, and once again, you see the Cade coming out here from the side of Phoenix Esports, so definitely going to assist in holding that dirt tunnel area as well. Now the attack is spawning in. See what they decide to take from. Looks like the Monty is poised to start to open this in tandem with the Thermite, but look at this early aggression coming out from the meat locker side here from the Vigil. Going to fall back down to the main bar area, but he's joined by Hypes here on the Jaeger. They're playing refrags off of each other in relative proximity, so definitely these two can help one another out. But it looks like the Zofia might just try and impact the Cade Artilla through the hatch, but the Org A3 to connect. Panna to find Keem through the drone hole in Dirt Tunnel. Definitely a massive kill now, taking the Zofia and all of the utility off of the board.
Yeah, I really, really like the idea coming out from Phoenix, playing so smartly, just trying to get some immediate aggression out there, peeking meat locker, trying to just get all of these angles going for themselves, and eventually that aggression works out. They take the Zofia off the board, which is a lot of utility denied, and just lots of presence denied as well for the attackers to try and get on into this one. Monty's still up though, so they can still make something happen here, but with a man down, they've really got to move forward, and well, there goes the IQ as well, so this is going to be a lot more difficult for them.
Yeah, so 2 players down already. The blue team, the defenders, they have a massive advantage, but the Monty is still on the board. They can definitely do a lot with this operator. If you can find this kill onto the Jaeger, that will definitely be a big opener into this round. It's going to be just playing around with this Jaeger, toying with his food, but who will it be to get the eventual kill? And it is the Jaeger, and now 5-2, there's almost no way for the defenders to lock this out. Or sorry, for the attackers.
Yeah, losing that Monty, you lose a lot of your just forward breath. Now you have to win the gunfights, and you have to win 5 of them, and that's just not going to be possible when you're getting double peaked like this, and you have to reload. It's just not going to work out, and now it's just Thermite to try and make it happen. He's playing all the way outside. He's got 1, but he has to find 4 more if he wants to make it happen, and he has to find all 4 of those in 1 minute, or try and just sneak his way into sight and get the plant down, and, well, that's just not looking very possible at this stage.
Yeah, so 50 seconds... 1v4, you have the diffuser, sure, but not even an avenue onto site. You're going to have to go through one of the funnels, go down one of the main stairs, and, well, it's just not going to happen. They're going to take this time, maybe have a team discussion, heading on over to their their defending side, how they're going to plan to hold this bomb site. So, really, they're going to take this time, just see what they can do here.
Yeah, and then once the half switches, of course, we'll see if Phoenix have some Monty strats prepared, or if they've got some more traditional strats down on the board for us to witness. We'll see if they can get some early success as well, because it looks like we'll be ending things out 3-3, which is pretty much an even game. But of course, if Meraki are looking strong on their defense side, it might just be a problem for Phoenix.
Yeah, so 2 seconds, 1 second, and it's over. 3-3, ending the split. So definitely still looking head to head. Obviously, Phoenix Esports, they won out the first map in Consulate. So heading to the second C map, the two I constantly get confused, Clubhouse and Consulate. But in this matchup, at least, they are very equally headed. But look at this, Phoenix Esports, they're also going to be using the Monty, but quite notably, they're utilizing the Hibana as well. And going down below to Church and Arsenal, that duality in the two heart breaches is definitely going to pay dividends for them.
Yeah, certainly will be. It looks like a Maestro going to be picked up for Meraki as well, which could potentially be quite interesting here for them. Maybe do a little bit of extra spicy damage. We're seeing a lot of 6th picks into 6th picks here. It's going to be the Hibana into the Hibana, just like the Monty into the Monty in the previous half. We'll see how this plays.
Yeah, big brain. So Causa R6 in chat says, but isn't Jaeger Elite banned? So if you weren't here for the previous stream on the Consulate game, over on PlayStation, they have made the ruling that if both teams come to a gentleman's agreement, both of these teams are actually running skins. So they've just come to a gentleman's agreement. We're not going to cause anything on Twitter if you don't cause anything on Twitter, basically. It's been allowed if both of the teams agree to it, basically. So in this matchup, at least, elite skins are allowed. Now, heading down to the bottom four defense, Meraki Gaming, they are on their defensive side. So let's see what's going to be happening here.
Yeah, let's see. Indeed, I'm very keen to see how Phoenix attack this one, if they can replicate some of that success that Meraki had with the Monty strat, and if they're going to fumble a little bit with it as well, because of course Meraki had some, varying success with it in the previous half. So I'm interested to see if Phoenix can maybe do something with it as well.
And quite notably, no one actually spawned construction side. The Vigil was ready to run out there from Jacuzzi side, but he can't really do anything because, well, no one spawned there. The Monty now starting to clear out the catwalk area here inside of Garage, taking care of the default cameras. They're taking their time in clearing this out. Definitely going to try and find those opening engagements here with the the Jaeger currently playing up top, but he's taking his time. 45 seconds already elapsed on this timer. It's going to get droned out, but I believe he is going to be falling back here into construction at least.
Yeah, this is a much more standard play from the Monty, pushing him through Garage, going up Cat, and moving in towards CCTV. Definitely not the just direct head-on dirt tunnel approach that Meraki were using. But the question is now, Phoenix, obviously, they're looking to try and sweep the entirety of the map. That's the whole point. Can they make it happen within the time limits? We've seen the time run out before, and already the Jaeger goes down. So at least the sweep is working out for them so far.
Monty now with a double kill. Not too often that you see Monty going ham and getting those kills from Salt, but this round at least, that's what's going to be going down. And sure, they've got the Hibana on the board, but there's no way to actually get that electrical off of the Moto dropdown. You can try and open up the kitchen hatch in some weird and wondrous ways, but the C4 to connect, getting the kill onto the Bucks. So soft breach off the board now, no more vertical play here on the side of the attacking team, but Hypes to get another one, the IQ to connect. Suddenly, 4v2, this is looking like an absolute, I can't even find words to describe it, just a great round here for the attackers.
Yeah, this is exactly what Meraki were lacking in the previous half. The ability to play the Monty like this and just get up in the face, sweep the entirety of the map, clean it out. That's exactly what Phoenix have done here. They've just systematically moved floor to floor, utilized the Monty, made sure that they were backing the Monty up as well. And it's worked out perfectly. They cleared out the roamers, they cleared out all the rest of the floors, they had everything going for them, and they just moved down into the site and they took it.
Yeah, so Another round here for Phoenix Esports. They lead once again, quite notably. I don't think Meraki Gaming have a single time in this series at least led in terms of the overall round count. So heading to Church and Arsenal now once again. Let's see if they can switch things up. Obviously, a Capcan being brought on the board here. Quite strange to not six pick onto him, so I don't know if that's going to be six pick, but it looks like he has locked in that operator. Obviously, the Zofe are going to be six picked onto the Montaigne, and actually, the Capcan is going to stay on the board.
That is a very interesting turn of events, I must say. Obviously, they're not feeling too happy with how the Monty is being used against them. Obviously, the versatility that Phoenix have showed, or at least the strength that they've showed so far with being able to use that Monty to clear out the floors is definitely something that they're not enjoying, and they're going to try and pick up the Capcan to try and just dissuade them from doing the same thing again. But, I mean, if they check their doorways, they're checking... doing their due diligence, it should be relatively easy to clean up, especially with the IQ going on the board. If they have that IQ supporting them, especially since the Capcan wasn't sixth pick, which means they're expecting it, they can definitely clear this up pretty easily, and it shouldn't be too much of a problem for them.
You know, look at all the spots this Capcan is currently placing his traps. He's rotated all the way up to CCTV side, placing them all around the map, and that definitely is going to help him out. Usually you'd see players placing them maybe around site to maybe get some intel when those are detonated or shot out, but in these positions, you're definitely not going to expect a Capcan trap, and that's the biggest thing. When you expect it the least, it's going to catch you off guard 100% of the time. So now they're joining out the Monty. They're going to enter from this garage side once again, and well, with what the Capcan has set up for him, they might just get a little bit of damage onto these opening players.
Yeah, it certainly could happen, and I mean, they've definitely read where the Monty was being played in the previous round, so Meraki at least know what the problem in that previous round was. But is the response going to be enough? Are those Capcan traps set up around CCTV going to be enough? I mean, obviously, the Monty's checking for them, so far, no damage done.
Yeah, the thing is, he wasn't six-picked onto. He was revealed during the pick phase, so they know he's going to be on the board. They thought maybe they're going to six-pick off of it, but I believe they've seen one EDD now on the board, so they know this Capcan is here, and he's going to be placing out traps as well. There's an IQ on the board, so you can literally just scan around the map and see exactly where they are placed. And, well, with the new ping system, I don't think you're going to catch any of these players off guard. But now, Jaeger is kind of stuck in logistics here. He might find the engagement with either the Habana on the main stairs, the back outside of the master bedroom area, but now the Monty as well going to start pushing out the Jaeger here. If he can stand in this doorway, he's literally going to catch this player off guard. Jaeger is not ready, and the Montaigne whiffs his shot. Oh, he doesn't even spot the Victor on the floor, but the quick reaction time.
What is going on?
He went.
No!
He went
Once
massive.
again.
He went
Once
massive in that previous
again.
round, and once again, yeah, it's just... This guy's been showing up, what can we say? So, at the moment, looks like they're going to pick up another round. 4-3 with a 5-3 round man count lead. The impact trick's going to go down, actually.
Oh man, once again, Meraki falling victim to the exact same thing. The Capcan not enough to dissuade the Monty from just walking him and bashing your teammates right in the face. And that's what he's done so far. And well, now, once again, Meraki feeling the pressure. Can they withstand it though, is the question now as Phoenix start their attack run on the site.
And actually, it's going to get impact tricked once again. So, looking over on the defensive side, there are no more impacts left. So, hatch is now going to get opened as well. Jared to fall, type 89, Swak to get the kill. It's just looking like a done deal here for the attacking side. 5v1. Decade is left last live, and it eventually will be next to a flawless round, but not. Decade is going to find one kill before eventually perishing to the hands of the Buck here. Now, 5-3 round count lead for Phoenix Esports. Obviously, they have one out on a consulate, so this might be their time to take it.
Yeah, I mean, there was just what is going on that previous round, man. That was just the defenders had the right idea in terms of answering the Monty up on that first floor. They know the Monty comes in, puts pressure. They know that Phoenix like to sweep, take each floor bit by bit, take that control. But the problem is, if you're going to be sticking yourself onto that third floor into a corner that you can't move out of, and you've got a Monty walking up in your face, and he's just gonna bash you to death, there's a huge problem. And if you can't respond to that, you're not going to win that out. And I mean, that's just totally evident here. The Monty gets 2 smacks right in the face of Meraki. Both the 2 players playing on that third floor go down, and suddenly you have to retract. You have to pull all your players back in towards the site. You give their entire control over. They come in. They've got everything going for them, and they win though.
They're on bar backstore. Sorry to cut you short there, but look at this bomb site. I'm gonna do a double take, and I speak under correction, but I don't think I've ever casted a single round played on bar backstore, because no one plays bar backstore. You just don't. And what's really weird to me is that upstairs is open. CCTV and gym and bedroom are open. It's not like they have to go to bar and backstore. No one has to go to bar and backstore. Even if you win all of your rounds, even with how site rotations work in Siege, you don't have to go to the fourth bomb site. So this is telling me they definitely have something set up for this. Obviously the castle barricades are going to assist in this hold, but really this is a weird pick, and I hope this is kind of, it's either going to go really well for them because the attacking team just doesn't know how to attack this, because even in ranked you never see this bomb site, or they know exactly how to attack this, and this is one of the weakest bomb sites on this map, and it's going to be an absolute slaughter.
Yeah, this definitely says either one of 2 things. Either yes, they've got this prepared, or this is a desperation pick to try and stop the sweeping of the floors, because obviously they're sitting on the first floor, so they can't go top to bottom all the way and bottom to top all the way, so might be splitting the attack up a little bit and trying to answer back somehow, but I mean, why?
Yeah,
look at the diffuser's already going down. I mean, this is just, yeah. I think this is pretty much done. The Monty is all still on the board. There's no answer back. The diffuser's planted, and this is done. The post-Monty come up. The Monty's sitting in your face. I think it's done already.
Yeah, they've got an Ella that should... Well, there goes the Ella. The absolute perfect timing, the comedic timing on that. And now they're going to try and retake this, but 30 seconds. The players are starting to fall left, right, and center. And actually, the Monty's going massive here. Team kill does go through. Tries to find the buck, the whiffs getting... The shots getting whiffed. Eventually, the P10 Roni play to fall. Now, it's actually a 2v1, so kind of doable, but... One player picked up. This is just an absolute slaughter. This has been a slugfest. Well, the attack is naked. Patches and Booch should tell you everything about this round.
I have absolutely nothing to say about that round. I have absolutely nothing to say about that round. Let's just move on. Next round. Hopefully it goes a little bit better than that.
5v5, like, what, 20 seconds off of the clock and the diffuser gets planted.
Yeah, that's why you definitely never pick that bomb site.
And I when I was saying this is either going to go really well or really bad, I forgot to factor in the Monty. The Monty's still on the board. He isn't banned. And like we saw, he just easy peasy walk on through. And it's kind of like kitchen service on, coastline, except there's almost nothing you can do about a plant in that doorway. On kitchen service on coastline, at least you can get the bathroom from the side, open up through the wall, maybe play the vertical up in penthouse. But here, there's literally nothing you can do. There's no vertical, there's no bomb site connected to it. Maybe you can go through the run out on stock, but at the end of the day, there's just no way to stop it. Monty gets the plant down, and well, now we stand at 6-3. They're on match point, and Phoenix Esports, they can make this end out right here, right now.
Yeah, that was one of the most questionable plays that I've ever seen. I mean, I think we had like 4 or 5 people on the floor, down but not out, just crawling around the ground in that one. It was just absolute chaos. And well, finally, we're going to be heading up towards German bedroom, which is definitely a lot more standard, a lot more defensible. But the question is, can they defend it? I mean, time and again, it looks like Phoenix have really just been touting this Monty in their face, like, yeah, you can use it, but you can't use it as good as us. And so far, Phoenix have proven that. They've taken it all the way to 6 rounds. One more is going to give them that win. And right now, it's looking difficult. I mean, they're going to have to just pull off one hell of a defense right here, because they've got 3 rounds to make up to try and even things out for the overtime.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard fight to get back on into this, and especially with the castle play, it's going to be assisting in this bandit tricking as well as taking them out onto the main windows. But the Jaeger to find the opening kill, 4v5 now. Phoenix already at a back foot, and that is exactly what the defenders need. Swak taking a tad bit of damage here from Keem on the Valkyrie, but the Monty actually on the rafters as well is going to unextend his shield, trying to find a pick onto Keem, but not going to be able to find it. So definitely on a back foot, but still a lot to play with here for the attacking side. They're not out of this round just yet.
Yeah, certainly not, especially with that Monty still on the board, making his way through CCTV and getting on that pressure. So still, so far, so good for them, just clearing things out, cleaning that clean sweep that we know Phoenix can do. And, well, they're going to answer back. The Valkyrie goes down. That's a good bit of pressure. Now they can just keep working their way across this map.
And she was actually being pinged by the Jackal, decided to fall back, but probably not far enough. Now they've opened up the CC wall, they're going to start pressuring onto this cash hold because that is the main extension on this bomb site. But the Type 89, the Hibana to connect onto, feed seed, takes off the castle off the board, and, well, that's the player that's come in clutch earlier on in this game. But now Electro to actually get injured, the Monty down, but when you're in a 4v1, it does not really matter. But Blake's left last live and now 1v4. He can't clutch it out. The Thermite to get the final kill with 556. And Phoenix Esports, they take it all the way.
And let me just say that I think it is an absolute travesty that we only saw the smoke coming out now in the final round. I mean, that was the play right there. We wanted to see the smoke go huge. And because that's how you stop the Monty from pushing. That's where you can, get your time. That's where you can put the pressure on. That's where you can respond. We didn't see any of that until right now in that final round, and it doesn't even matter because Phoenix were just so clean at taking that sweeping into the site, cleaning it out, moving on methodically, just dismantling the attackers one by one. And even right at the end there, when that smoke did the job, took down the Monty, it didn't matter because the rest of the team Phoenix showed up.
And to me, this game right here came down to one thing. And I'm currently showing chat my Monty chibi because I don't think that you can actually see my face cam. But it came down to the Monty plays, literally, on both sides. On the attacking side, when Meraki were there on their attack, they utilized it to great effect. Not as great as Phoenix Esports, though. They were able to absolutely tear through the defenses. And I think they went flawless on their attack. They didn't drop a single round.
Yeah. I think so. I think you're quite right with that one. Definitely a very, very quick sweep for Phoenix there, taking that 2-0 and just solidifying that victory there. Very interesting game, I must say.
Yeah, so thank you so much, guys, for joining. This has been Phoenix Esports versus Meraki Gaming in the third quarterfinal of the Meraki Gaming Tournament. Thanks so much for joining. We will be back in, I believe, for like 30 minutes. We're going to be back at 7:30 to cast the game between Aladdin Velocity and Omnius Gaming, two very well-known teams here in SA. So be sure to join back for that PC game. Going to be happening shortly. So thanks so much, guys, for joining. This has been quite a great game, even though we've had some technical difficulties throughout, and the update coming out for the game, couldn't have foreseen that, but all went smoothly in the end. So thanks so much for joining. This has been Kanye Diffuse. Patchy, any last remarks?
Yeah, well, thanks for dropping by. I hope to see you in like 30 minutes. If you're gonna drop by, it'll be super cool. And be sure, if you're not following us, you can just go, just check us out, have a look and see. Go to all the socials and stuff. It's pretty cool. And yeah, I guess we'll see you around.
Thank you so much for joining. Cheers.